Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Chelsea. A lot of you might not know, but one of my hobbies outside of fitness and YouTube is actually dance. Given that it's the new year, I kind of wanted to take a look back at my progress over the last 6 or 7 years. I was actually inspired by a video by this channel called Una Rin. It kept popping up on my recommended, and basically she just tracks a bunch of her previous dance videos and makes little comments on how she has improved or what she needs to improve on. So I thought I'd do the same, except in a more commentary form where we'll be watching some of my videos and just talk you guys through where I was at the time and hopefully view my progress over the years. So a little bit on my dance background. I did gymnastics very briefly in like early 1st or 2nd grade. I did Chinese dance, a little bit of ballet as well until around middle school, 1 year of cheerleading in high school, and from 2015 and onwards is where we'll kind of start with this video. I wanted to start at around 2015 because this was when I really got into K-pop, and this was what kind of kickstarted me trying to learn dance choreographies diligently and consistently almost every single day. I did only start filming myself in 2016, but still wanted to just tell you guys about where I got started and how dance really fit into my life. So even if you may not be super familiar with dancing, I still want to make this video to show you guys how you can improve if you just stick consistently with any sort of skill, and hopefully be a sort of inspiration for you guys to pursue any of your own goals. So let us just jump right into it. Let's go back in time to, I would say, a very fruitful year for K-pop, 2015. This was when EXO was at its peak, BTS was coming up, and legacy groups like 21 and Big Bang were not disbanded yet. This was when I got into K-pop and became immediately interested in their choreographies. Like many K-pop fans, I decided to try learning my favorite ones. I started with Big Bang's Bang Bang Bang, as well as EXO's Growl and SNSD I Got a Boy. These may not have been the best choices for a beginner looking back, but they were some of my favorite songs. Sadly, I don't have full videos to show you guys for this part, but these really did take me a long time, even seemingly easy ones like Bang Bang Bang. I remember I was practicing in my living room alongside doing some Blogilates workouts, and I thought, oh, this would be my exercise for the day. So while these videos would have been very embarrassing and entertaining for me to see, I sadly do not have them with me. 2016 was when I officially started a dance Instagram. This was when I was like, I can show my dancing to the world, but as a teenager, I was embarrassed and still had to block everyone from high school from ever discovering that account. I gotta say, I felt I was on top of the world when I was doing these dance covers. Not because I was any good, but because there just wasn't that many people on Instagram or social media in general doing dance covers. And I felt like over a year, I had improved just enough to be able to post these videos. So the first video we're gonna look at is Dope by BTS, which was pretty iconic at the time. As you can see, I was familiar with the moves here, but I didn't really bend my knees or sink into any of them fully, especially for any parts where you can add some freestyle. I had the basic idea of the dance down, but it looks like I didn't really commit to it. I also had no grasp with textures or when to be sharp and when to take time with my moves. The next video is when I started learning some non-K-pop choreographies from a studio called 1 Million Dance. So this choreo was definitely out of my league, and again, it looks like I'm not bending my knees enough. I also didn't understand any of the grooves, so all the slightly freestyle parts looked very awkward rather than fun. I feel like with grooves, it just comes with experience, since choreographers would use similar movements like body rolls and bounces in their songs, and you just have to know what they were going for. Evidently, it didn't look like I knew for this choreography, so I just looked pretty awkward. 1 year later, and I feel like I did see some improvements. I took some in-person dance classes and even attended this studio class from Sorry Na, which I was still very underqualified for. I did have a little more confidence with K-pop choreographies as I kept going on my Instagram account. That year, I also choreographed for my high school's homecoming, which looking back could have been better, but we are just going to file that away in embarrassing high school memories. Here's a dance that was very popular as Blackpink had debuted around this time.
Hey boy, make 'em whistle like a missile, bomb, bomb. every time I show up. Blow up.
Here I'd say I have more energy and I'm not as jerky with the moves as I was last year. I also tried doing textures, like hitting some moves sharply and others not as much, but I still had a long way to go with timings and making the entire choreo flow. This was another groovy dance with just a lot of time to add in your own flair, but I felt like I was more meticulously trying to copy the moves of BTS, which turned out to be much stiffer when I did them. Again, I feel like I can take bigger steps and really commit to the moves, look like I'm having fun instead of copying someone else. 2018 was the year that I started college and joined a K-pop dance club at my school. I also auditioned for the dance team and actually made it, so this was a lot of big steps for me. Of course, I felt so much imposter syndrome on both fronts, but I feel like dancing away from home and with actual people in actual studios instead of my backyard really did help me grow. It seriously took me out of my comfort zone. So this first video is actually one of the pieces I auditioned with for my dance team.
Pop a perky just to start up. Pop 2 cups of purple just to warm up.
After performing it for them, this was when I practiced more and filmed myself doing it. I definitely look like I'm much more relaxed and familiar with stuff like the body rolls, but I feel like I was still faking the confidence, and you can see how I'm getting a little uncomfortable when there are no set moves to follow. I think freestyle was and still is one of my greatest weaknesses. And here is a K-pop choreo from that semester. I think by this time I had grasped the basic formula for girl group dances, which were mostly just clear and energetic moves. I do think I could have developed my own style a little more though, as watching this just feels like seeing someone copy word for word somebody else's work. It feels just very one-dimensional. 1 year into college, I felt way more confident in my skills. This 2019 summer was also when I decided to diet and exercise more, so I was feeling more confident of the way I looked in videos. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I felt very confident every day. In fact, I was still struggling with a lot of body image issues, but I feel like being more confident on camera just reflected on my dancing. I was also able to learn choreography much faster. I could probably learn a K-pop chorus in around 1 or 2 hours, depending on the difficulty. I also explored my own style a little bit more, and that really added to the covers. So this is another 1 Million choreography by Mina Myung.
What's up, it's nice to know ya. Can't wait to get you back to my car. Spread on my wall just like a poster.
I definitely think I grew way more confident with sexier dances, probably in tandem with my confidence in looks. I think I'm much more grounded in my moves here, and I could hit the beats accurately. I do think I could have worked on the subtleties a little bit more by the end, like the hip movements, but I was super proud of this one, I remember. And here is a K-pop dance in which I also thought I understood the textures. I became way less awkward with freestyling and kept the tension in the correct places. I also came into my own style a little bit more this year, and I was not afraid to lip sync, which you can see as cringy or confident. As the pandemic hit in 2020, I had to go back and practice in my backyard again. But since I still had my dance account at this time, which was growing pretty rapidly, I did have a lot of motivation to improve. But I did think I was hitting a plateau around this time. I felt like because I was doing mostly K-pop covers, it didn't leave me a lot of room to explore my own style. Running my dance account also meant that lip sync, outfits, and accuracy took a higher priority than really focusing on the dancing. So I really came to love Changha's choreography and songs, so here's one of my favorite covers of her song. I think I did pretty well with the accuracy of this dance, especially with the hand movements. I do feel like though with a lot of her songs, it doesn't look very effortless on me. I felt like I was very focused on getting those little details right, but I did feel proud of this one since I think I looked and felt pretty confident in this video. Now, I picked this song, Criminal by Taemin, to show off some of my weaknesses that still persisted from when I first started dancing. When I'm faced with a difficult boy group dance like this that had a lot of awkward moves, or at least moves that were awkward for people who are not Taemin, I could not shake the habit to just make every move super sharp and lose all the textures. So while the moves are generally correct, I feel like I was high school me again, not really sinking into most of them. And here's an honorable mention because I was super proud of myself for committing to learning this tutting choreo. It took me twice as long as any other K-pop dance, but I'm glad I stuck to it and was able to pull it off somewhat. This past year, I feel like my dance journey has been getting a little bit choppy as I was also doing fitness for YouTube and just moving around more, but I jumped right back into in-person K-pop covers once the school year started. I also became the director of our dance team, so definitely came a long way this year, and let's take a look at what I have learned. Also this year, I retired my dance account from high school, which had around like 9,000 followers, and I decided to post less frequently and without as much pressure on a separate dance account if you would like to check that out. And here's the first video I decided to post from there. It was a studio choreography I learned still in my backyard. Evidently, I feel like I'm doing everything much more full out than in previous years and am more comfortable with the textures. I can definitely be sharper in some places, but I think by this time I'm familiar with the common grooves like body rolls, glides, hip rolls, and more. During the school year, I didn't have as much time as I did before to learn dance on the side, outside of the covers I was participating in and just for my dance team. This is something that I revisited one night, and I was surprised at how comfortable I looked with it despite only reviewing the dance for a half hour. Although it did get a bit messy towards the end, I definitely had fun with it, and you can kind of see my own style come out. And that brings us to today, which is 2022. Like I said, I don't have my big formal dance account anymore, so I've been just taking it easier and posting whenever I feel like it to this account right over here if you would like to check out some of my other dance content. I also do some reels and other full-length videos on this channel if you would like to check it out. Many times I feel like I haven't grown that much, whether it's in fitness, dance, or any other skills, but I think through this video looking back, I do see some of the progress that I've made. And I'm not making this video to brag or anything or to show off my knowledge of dance. I still don't consider myself a dancer, just someone who enjoys this style of exercise pretty much. So hopefully this will inspire you a little bit to pursue the goals you have for this year as well as the way longer term. So even if you're not the biggest fan of dance or K-pop, I still hope you enjoyed this video going on a trip down memory lane with me. Additionally, I always welcome constructive criticism, any type of feedback you guys can give me. If you enjoyed this video, hopefully you can check out more of my dance content as it is a pretty big part of my life and fitness plan. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next one.